go down home, y'all. Woo! I wanna be connected to your will and to your way. Without your love, ain't no way that I can do the things that I need to do. I wanna be connected to you. I wanna be connected to your will and to your way.
And welcome to the Connection Place here on the WIDU radio network. I am Tolly Carr, and you're listening and you're saying, who? What? Well, it is the very first episode, the premiere episode of the Connection Place, and I am just here to facilitate the actual star of the program. So let's get her onto your radio right now, and that is Miss Peggy Tatum. She is the publisher of TCP Magazine, and if you do the letters real quick, TCP, the Connection Place. So this is an extension of your brand with the magazine, and just really excited to be here for the very first time. And welcome, Miss Tatum.
Well, thank you. You just sound so good. I just want you to just keep on talking. You make me sound so good. You said star?
Star, yes.
I think that's the first time I've been referred to as a star.
Really?
Yes.
You need to talk to your children. Wait. There's a caveat here.
Okay.
I am one of your children.
That's it. You are one of my children. You're my firstborn.
And favorite.
And
most handsome.
And
modest.
Okay, I hope the other kids aren't listening.
Trust me. Well, my youngest sister, your only daughter, is babysitting, so her hands are full right now. She has one of my daughters, so trust me, I know she's not listening. Your other son, I have no idea. He cannot be accounted for. But this is really, though, an extension not only of your magazine, but your relationship with WIDU. You have worked very closely with Sandy and Wes over the years. Tell me a little bit about, or tell everyone a little bit about that relationship and really the success that you guys have had working together.
Well, I met Wes Cookman in Durham, North Carolina, doing a vision tour. They were going around on their meal meetings to different cities talking about their anniversary. And I was in the audience, but I had asked on 2 occasions other people to please connect me with this guy. I'd heard good things about him, but it just never happened. So I just happened to be in a place where he was doing the vision tour, and I listened to him, and I said, you know, this is good. This is kingdom building, and this is what I want to be about. So I spoke to him and told him I'd like to help. And from that moment on, we were just like connected. He's like other people say, you know, he's my brother from another mother.
Right. And Wes's vision extended to you. He offered you the opportunity to come and have a radio show. And I think you might have initially said, you might have been on the fence a little bit. But then you thought to yourself, well, I can do the radio show with somebody who knows a little something about radio. So you called me up, and it was one of those ideas you have when you're just, where were you, in the shower, laying in the bed, one of those ideas that just kind of pop into your head.
I just woke up one morning. When Wes initially, he saw what I did, and it was just the same as when I saw what he did. And he thought it was a good fit for the radio station. So when he asked me initially, it was an immediate no. I was thinking, there's no way, because I live in Raleigh. I'm not going back and forth to Fayetteville to do a radio show. Sort of put it aside. And then one morning a few weeks ago, when I woke up, it was just hit me. And it was just, you know, I guess the Lord was saying, now is the time. Now is the time. And I think it's good just to wait on the Lord until he tells you when it's time to do something. And then things just fall into place. So knowing that I had a son with all the capabilities of helping me, and you live in Fayetteville, that was also a good excuse to see my grandchildren once a week.
Well, look, if you're short on excuses to see them and take them off my hands, I can write you a book of excuses.
Okay.
Well, that is awesome that you got a divine message that slapped you in the morning. The only thing that slaps me in the morning are those 2 grandkids of yours, I'll tell you. So what do you see? What's going to happen here? We're going to be on every Friday from 2 to 3 here on the WIDU radio network. You can listen to us over the air, or online, or with the TuneIn app. So we're going to be potentially reaching people across the world. What are people going to hear every Friday?
Well, some of the information will parallel the magazine, but I want people to know that the Connection Place, that is what I do. That's the name that the Lord gave me to use. The Connection Place, TCP, because I was just busy back in early 2000s just connecting people with who they needed. And I was just happy at the end of the day, but it wasn't a business. So we turned it into a business with the magazine. So we'll be interviewing people. We'll be corresponding with people over the internet, taking phone calls, just trying to help folks get to the next level. What I see, Tolly, is people live in their own little environment. They go to work, they go to church, they go to the grocery store, and they don't know what's going on around them. I've had the opportunity to be out in the marketplace, and Wes always say, you do marketplace ministry, and I can connect them with people that they need. And that's one of the things we intend to do on the show, and just bring fresh, new information.
All right, we're going to do some connecting coming up a little bit later today. Let's talk a little bit about our guest that we're going to have on our inaugural show, the premiere of The Connection Place. Our very first guest after the break here in a few minutes is the Fayetteville reporter for WTVD News, ABC 11, someone that I happen to know very well. Miss Nicole Carr is going to join us in just a bit. And you're probably thinking, Nicole Carr, Tolly Carr. Yes, that is my wife. So I am so honored to be married to the great Nicole Carr. So she's going to call us in a little bit. We're going to talk to her about her job here in Fayetteville and her connection to the community and how the community can connect with her. She asked me last night, what are we going to talk about? I said, don't worry. Your hubby's going to take care of you. So we're going to hear from her in just a bit. We're also going to talk to Phil Brickle, Pastor Phil Brickle. Now, you have something that you do every year in conjunction with WIDU, and that's the Hometown Heroes. Tell us a little bit about the Hometown Heroes.
Okay, part of the relationship with WIDU, the anniversary celebration, was TCP Magazine helping with the marketing. And when I went to Wes with the idea of let's select a hometown hero in each city that we go to, he thought it was a marvelous idea. And the Hometown Heroes were connected with the homeless agenda that WIDU used during their anniversary on the Wednesday or Thursday night when they do their unity service. I was very impressed with that. And so the last 2 years, we have done 27 hometown heroes. We've honored them at the WIDU anniversary. So during the course of our radio show, each week we're going to be going back, talking with them, seeing what's going on, and just continue to empower them. Most of them were just so excited to know that someone cared about them and what they do for their communities. These people, they do it out of the love, just out of their heart.
And these people are really the salt of the earth. I mean, they're doing things that, a lot of us will say, man, if I had some money, I would do this, or if I was, in a position to help. And these people just do it. They don't talk about what if, maybe, one day, possibly. I mean, they're just out there doing it every day.
They are. They're feeding the hungry and the homeless. It may come out of their own pockets. They may have other resources that, people just look at what they do and contribute to them. But if it wasn't for them, a lot of people would fall between the cracks because the government can't take care of everybody.
All right, so we'll hear from Phil Brickle coming up. Really inspirational guy. Looking forward to that. And our final guest towards the end of the show is going to be Stephen Williams. Now, he's from Winston-Salem, and while this is a talk show, we will incorporate music throughout the course of the show, and he's a really dynamic singer. Tell us about him.
He is. I just love him. He's one of those people that if you just start talking to him, even over the phone, you can just feel his joy. Now, he's one of the people on TCP Magazine's website that's on our artist showcase.
And tell us of the website.
The website is www.tcpmagazineusa.com.
All right, tcpmagazineusa.com, okay.
Okay. And so you can go on there and go to the artist showcase, and you can see him and you can hear his music. You can download his music. And that's just one way we help independent artists get to the next level through TCP Magazine's resources. But you're going to love him, talk to him, and you're going to hear his music.
How much fun do you have in your life? Connecting people, being involved. I mean, you're on the road all the time. You're just the marketplace mama. That's what I'm going to start calling.
All right. Yeah. Tolly, I was thinking about that, I think, today, about how I have enjoyed my life. It was in 2003, I think it was, I stopped work. I asked the Lord to give me something to do where I could stay home and take care of my children and also do something that was worthy. And he gave me, the vision to do a magazine. And there's a long story that goes along with that. But I enjoy what I do. I determine when I get up in the morning, how late. Like last night, I got to bed about 3 o'clock.
You had me beaten. I'm a night owl. You actually beat me. I think I called it a night at 2.
I am in control, and every morning I wake up and I say my prayers. I just tell the Lord to help me, order my steps, because I'm not that smart. I'm not as smart as you are.
Oh, come on.
So I need help.
Well, look, we are both Sampson County born and bred people here. So both of us are very simple, low maintenance, not too overly complex people.
Yeah, and you talking about enjoying. All I have to do is just look back from where I came from.
Cotton fields.
The cotton fields, the cucumber fields,
Tell
the pepper fields. Yeah. In my office, I have a big picture of, I bought it at the CIAA tournament one year, and this girl is standing in the cotton field, and everybody's picking cotton, and she has her books. And I think the picture says, "The Only Way Out," and it was talking about education. And when I look at it, I just see me when I used to be in that cotton field, and it's like, Lord delivered me, and He did, and I'm just so happy. I'll do anything.
Well, I'm glad that you stayed, because all your older brothers and sisters, for the most part, they all fled north. The northern migration started with the pain and the sun in those cotton fields, and I like the South, so I'm glad that you stuck around here.
Well, I am too, because all of those that went north now are trying to come back south.
I know. It's a little cold up there.
It is.
A little nippy.
Now, Tolly, there's something I want to say.
Okay.
Now, this is tough for me, because normally I'm the one that's doing the asking the questions, and you're asking me questions.
Well, just for the first segment, to introduce you to everyone.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you, do your thing.
No, but I just want to add something, because I'm looking at TCP in front of me, and the part of the testimony is that TCP, all those letters represent the family. And now I have the opportunity to be here with you, the family. Nicole's going to be the family. So the family is finally coming together after 11 years.
All right. Awesome. Well, speaking of Nicole Carr, on the other side of the break, she's the Fayetteville Bureau reporter for WTVD, ABC 11. Excited to talk to her in just a few minutes. You're listening to The Connection Place on the WIDU Radio Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Connection Place on the WIDU Radio Network. If you're listening online with the TuneIn app, or if you're just online at WIDUradio.com, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tolly Carr, along with Peggy Tatum, and we have a special guest here, our very first guest on our very first show. And I try to keep things simple, so I asked my wife would she call in. Now, the good thing about this is that my wife is actually pretty popular. She's a special lady. She is the Fayetteville Bureau reporter for WTVD News, ABC 11. Been here for a couple of years, so I'm sure you've seen her on TV quite a bit. Catch her work online. She is Nicole Carr. Hey there, Miss Nicole.
Hey there. Hey.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey. You guys sound good.
Well, thank you. We've been working on this for quite a few years here, just having a conversation and building a rapport together. and you and I have been doing the same thing, and we've been married for 4 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me I got that right. Thank you. Okay, so this is our first media broadcast relationship together. We've never done anything together.
We co-hosted some events.
Well, I mean, like things that have been transmitted over the air.
Yeah, this would be a first.
All right, great. So I have the first question here. So you've been in Fayetteville for a couple of years now, but you're originally from Fayetteville, so you're not you're not new to the town. But Nicole, tell us a little bit about some of the things that you wish people knew about your job. There's so many things they think that you're in Raleigh and you're flying here on the helicopter, and just kind of tell us how your day works and just your relationship with the town here.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm sitting in a live truck with photojournalists who I work with every day, and she might kill me, but I'm going to say her name over the air. She's waving. Lou Gillette is waving from the back of the live truck.
Hi, Lou.
We are, they say hi, Lou. We are in a McDonald's parking lot in Lillington.
and I imagine they are short one cup of coffee now that you're there.
No, I did a Dr. Pepper in honor of you. It's not diet, but it's your favorite soft drink. No, but we're sitting here in the middle of our day. I knew I wanted to call into the show. We're getting like a little snack break, but we've been in the courthouse all morning. So our journey today took us to Harnett County on a case, but no day is the same. We're based in downtown Fayetteville. We have 3 newsrooms with the station, so Raleigh, Durham, and downtown Fayetteville. And I work there with veteran reporter Greg Barnes. He works in the evenings, and I work there during the day. And we never really know what the day will bring. This morning I was at Grace Christian School in Sanford reading to the kids there. I got in my car, called into the morning meeting. We discussed the possibilities for stories, and then I hooked up with Lou, and we hopped in the truck, and we ended up in Harnett County. So I'll be here through 5 o'clock and then head back to Fayetteville. But I guess the second part of your question was, what do I wish people knew about Fayetteville?
Well, before you answer that, let's peel the curtain back a little bit. You said morning meeting. So
okay.
That's a part of the day that's very important because that's when decisions are made. And I think a lot of people might not understand how decisions actually are made. Tell us how decisions are made about what goes into a newscast every day.
Well, actually, viewers drive a lot of the decisions, whether they know it or not. A lot of times what we focus on for the day is based on viewer tips, on viewer interest, which these days we often gauge through social media. We know what folks are interested in, what they're responding to, kind of what the talk is in the community. And then we have things that we call must covers, things that are going on a certain day that it'll never happen again. You have to be there at that time on that day to cover it. It's a must cover if it's ever going to get covered. And an example of that is 2 days ago here in Harnett County, the first graduating class of Veterans Treatment Court came through. In Veterans Treatment Court, there are almost 200 of them in the country. The first ever was open here in Harnett County a year ago, and it gives vets who are suffering from mental illnesses, PTSD, TBI, depression, it gives them a second chance in the legal system. So instead of doing jail time for a nonviolent offense, you're hooked up with a mentor and you're given a tailored program and you're given treatment so that you don't find yourself back in the court system, so that you're rehabilitated and able to go home to your family and able to enjoy the life that you deserve. And it's tailored to veterans. Well, the first ever soldier graduated from that this week in Harnett County. That was a must cover. We would never be able to see this again. It was historic for North Carolina, and so that's where we were this week. And then I know it may be an overused term, but breaking news, things that happen beyond our control that we hear over the scanners, we've got to go out to the scene and check it out. We'll break off the stories and do that. So as you can imagine, every day is different. It just depends on what's going on that day. And there's so much to cover. We don't get to nearly enough things, but we do have a lot of resources, and we try to do a good job covering our community.
Now, Nicole, at our house, whenever the news comes on, everything stops. And we say, Nicole's on. If we're at Grandma's house, she's not talking to anybody. She's got to watch Nicole. But we see that you have a long day, and sometimes you go into like dangerous areas, and we're praying for you, for your safety. Mm-hmm. Is there any point in time where you have to pull back and say that you can't do it? It's a danger zone?
Well, there probably are some times when you should say that, and I think, well, first of all, I'll be honest that every day, and I'm not just saying this for the show. This is the God's honest truth. My day begins and ends and is sprinkled with prayer throughout the day. Okay,
mm-hmm.
So the first thing I do before I leave the house is I lay hands on my children, And my husband, sometimes he doesn't know it. He's still sleeping. But
every second counts.
I pray over my entire family. I say pray for everybody, our extended family, our immediate family. And then before I get out of the car, I pray for patience, and I pray for somebody to see God's light in me, no matter what I'm covering. So that may sound strange, because a lot of people say, I don't watch the news. All you all talk about is bad things. I can't even have my children watch the news. And this is true. A lot of the top stories. Now, I will argue sometimes, and I'll pull up our website, and I did it yesterday with a man I was interviewing. I said, no, this was a good story. This was one. And since you don't watch the news, you don't know when the good stuff is playing either. So you can't tell me it's all bad, because I was just here the other day. So while I may not be able to, while I can't control the circumstances, I can't control what goes on or what I'm ultimately assigned to. I can make suggestions, and it's a collaborative effort. We talk this out. That's what that meeting is for, to talk out what's going on and what direction we should go in. At the end of the day, I'm sent in a direction. And so whatever direction that is, I try to be mindful of what other people may be going through, because we're really we have this huge responsibility, and we're dealing with people's lives. You know, the story I'm doing today, it's not good, and I don't know all these circumstances. What I have in front of me is an indictment and a few bits of information from law enforcement, from Fort Bragg in this case. I really don't know the person that I'm talking about very well, and I have to find a way to be fair to that person, you know, with what I'm given at this point. And this person can't talk right now about the circumstances. So I just try to have respect for others. I try to imagine what position they're in, and I try to be pretty blunt and straightforward when I'm on air. I don't
and off air
play a reporter. If that makes any sense.
It does. You're listening to The Connection Place, and we're talking with Nicole Carr. She's a Fayetteville reporter for WTVD ABC 11 News. Nicole, just a couple of minutes here, and we have a hard out here at the bottom of the hour, and I know you understand what that means.
I sure do. I need to get in and get out quick.
Before you go, just tell us, what's the best way for people to connect with you if they have something going on in the community that would be a good story, and they need to reach out to you and try to get some information to you? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
The best way is, I would say, email, because I have little folders and I keep everything organized on my desktop, and my photographer is laughing at me. That is not, she should not laugh.
Well, you know, you and organization in the same sentence at work is definitely true.
Okay, Lord. Yeah, thank you. So if you need to reach me immediately, if something's happening and we need to check it out, I would say tweet me.
And what's your Twitter handle? I know it, but
it's at Nicole Carr ABC11. I would say tweet me. I have notifications on the phone. I'll see your tweet. If it requires detail and you need to write it out, Nicole, NICOLE, .Carr, CARR, at ABC11.com. No, at ABC.com. I don't even know my own email address. Nicole.Carr at ABC.com.
And this disclaimer, Friday night, Saturday night are date nights, in theory at least, so tweets might not come back as quickly on
That's
those
right.
nights.
I'm trying to be present in the precious time that I have at home. I'm trying to be more present. Tolly will tell you about that. I'm struggling to balance. I'll get there.
Oh, we're praying for you, honey.
Yeah.
We're praying for you. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We got to get out of here. I will see you later tonight around dinner time or so. Okay.
Proud of you both. Peggy Tatum is the woman.
All right.
She's
Thanks a lot.
Very proud of this show.
Thanks a lot. You're listening to The Connection Place. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Connection Place on the WIDU Radio Network. I'm Tolly Carr along with Peggy Tatum, and this is our inaugural show. It's the premiere edition, and we kind of have the hero theme going on right now. So, Mom, Miss Peggy, why don't you introduce our next guest?
Okay. Our next guest is Phil Brickle. He is from Raleigh, and he was a 2013 hometown hero. I wanted to bring him into the studio as our guest today because he was just exceptional. When we selected Hometown Heroes in 2013, he was above and beyond the things that he does in Raleigh. I want him to tell you because he's got something coming up for the holidays. Wes and Sandy and I have experienced what he does for the community and the thousands that he feeds. So I think I'm ready to just go ahead and start talking to Reverend Philip Brickle.
Good afternoon, Peggy.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I hope you are too.
Yes. Thank you for being a part of the show today. I wanted to make sure I got you in so we could talk about the upcoming holiday events that you have going on. So can you just give the audience a brief analysis of what's going on?
Oh, sure. For Thanksgiving Day, we have a big Thanksgiving celebration, which will be at the End Zone Cafe, 3601 New Bern Avenue in Raleigh. And we take a bus and pick folks up from the street and invite people in to come and celebrate for Thanksgiving. So we provide a meal for about 200 people, and then we have a bunch of volunteers that come in to cook, serve, and clean up. So it's a wonderful celebration.
Reverend Brickle, this is Tolly Carr here, Miss Peggy's son. Glad that you're on the show today. I haven't had a chance to meet you, but just from what my mom has told me and reading about you, I mean, back in I guess it was the 90s, you kind of had a rough stretch of your own, and once you came out of that, you decided that you wanted to help people. The question I wanted to ask you is, what does it take to get to that place? You know, I hear a lot of people, and myself included, well, if only I had some more money, or if only I had some more time, I really would go out and do something. It's like a lot of us are waiting for more to give more, but you just went right into giving. What does it take to do that at that point in your life?
I think it just takes trusting in the Lord and knowing what He called you to do. I think a lot of people really don't know what their gifts really are, because it's not about money, it's about trusting God. We started 19 years ago, and we just started with 5 people in a pot of chili. And here we are 19 years later and have been blessed to feed thousands and clothe thousands and provide a lot of items that people have a need for.
And I imagine that it takes a great team to do all the things that you have done. Do you remember that night when it was just you, 4 other people, in a bowl of chili, and you guys just had a lot of hope and faith in making a difference?
I really do, because we're coming up on that anniversary in about another week. It'll be the closing of our 18th year, and we'll be starting on our 19th year.
Wow. So how did you, I'm just interested here. I'm just going to I like to pull the curtain back. I've already used that analogy once. How did you meet Miss Peggy over here?
I met Miss Peggy, I believe she heard about some of the things that we were doing, and then Sister Sheila Wilson was having a program, and I actually had an opportunity to meet Peggy at one of Sheila's programs.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I have forgotten. Yes. It was at the Marriott Hotel.
Yes, it was.
Yes, and she introduced us, and I got on your mailing list. And you would send out stuff, and I just kept watching you until there was an opportunity that we could do something and connect. Mm-hmm. So I have Sheila to thank for that.
Amen.
Now, you know, one of the things I like best about what you do is those Holy Ghost block parties.
Oh, yeah.
That is something. We're just out in the parking lot, and the sun is coming down, and you're out there singing and dancing, and we see the people that are homeless and the ones that are not homeless that are supporting them. You're feeding them. And the first time I went, you had a table, I don't know how many feet long, just tables of clothing that you would give away. And I asked you, I said, you know, what if some of them are taking the clothes and they're selling them? And what did you tell me? You remember me asking that question?
Yeah, I do. One of the things that we try to share with our people is that once we're given, we just give, and we don't, expect people to always do the right thing, but we share with people that you can take a blessing and turn it into a curse. Mm-hmm. And so we always let people know to use the clothes for the right things and for the right ways, and God will bless it when you use it the right way. You don't want to separate the wheat from the chaff, so it's easy to don't give, and a lot of people don't do that. But then people who really have a need are missed because we're, taking it upon ourselves to believe who needs it, who don't.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you know what? The one thing I like about you, too, is you share information. And when we did the Hometown Heroes, that's one of the things I wanted, for them to come together and people share information so they could build their own ministries. Now, when I saw you in December, what was that church on Old Garner Road?
Christ Our King Community Church.
Christ Our King Community Church. Yes, there were people lined up, and I think you said the time before you had to turn some people back. But you fed them. There was somebody there that were they giving out cell phones?
Yes.
Giving out cell phones. They were cutting hair. I had never seen an operation like that before. So I was just so impressed. Tell us some of the other things they were doing I might have missed out on.
Well, we're getting ready to do that celebration for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be Friday, the 12th of December, and we'll be at 3500 Wood Meadow Parkway in Raleigh. We'll wrap over 5,000 gifts for the celebration. And then we'll have the celebration at 1500 Garner Road on Saturday the 13th at 10 a.m. So we do haircuts, we do nails, we do facials. We allow folks to mail Christmas cards home. We possibly may be doing flu shots this year. And then just so many other folks want to come and partner with us to share information and to give back. We'll have a full service. We'll provide a meal for everybody, and then we'll give all the gifts away.
Reverend Brickle, one of the things that excuse me, I wonder about is how close all of us are or potentially can be to being in need ourselves. It's kind of easy to put people in boxes and say, okay, those are homeless people or those people made bad decisions. How many people do you see are just, a victim of circumstance, economy, that just found themselves in a place that they never thought they would be in, and then they need help?
Well, the numbers are tremendously high. A lot of times when I shared what we were getting ready to do, I always used to say our events were for the homeless, but now I say it's for the less fortunate instead of the homeless, because so many people have suffered in this economy, losing jobs, and of course you have divorce that creates issues, and it's just hard times. And once folks lose a job or a paycheck or two, they fall short. Then they end up losing their place. They end up not being able to turn their water on, not being able to turn their power on. And it just, one or two paychecks just changes everything.
What type of change or do you see in people when they go through that and they come out on the other side? Everybody has a story, but when somebody falls on hard times that they didn't see coming, and then someone like yourself and your team offers them help, what does that kind of do for their outlook and just their attitude and just the way they view the world?
Well, there's only one way to really define that, and that's grateful. I think, with as much that's needed in the community, and when you do find help, folks are really, really thankful, and they have a desire to give back.
Well, Reverend Brickle, we're so glad that you were with us today. I do want to point out one other thing while you're on the phone. You just got an award recently that was named after you. Can you briefly tell us about that award?
Oh, yes. Praise God. I was grateful. There's an organization, they had an event called Battle down in Creedmoor, North Carolina, which they honored the Ronald McDonald House for all of the wonderful work that they're doing. And they called and they asked if they could name the award after me that they presented to Ronald McDonald House. So they actually named the award the Phil Brickle Extraordinary Service Award.
Well, congratulations. And people can connect with you on Facebook. I know you put out 1 Minute with the Rev.
Yes.
On your Facebook. That's under Phil. Is it Philip Brickle or just Phil Brickle?
It's Philip Brickle.
Yes, and your website is at Lost Sheep Outreach Ministries?
Yes, we have a Facebook page, which is Lost Sheep Outreach Ministry. And then we also have a web page, which is lostsheepoutreachministry.org.
All right. Well, Reverend Brickle, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for everything that you do in the community. The holiday season can be very festive, and it also can be hard on a lot of people. So I know the things that you do in the community are well needed this time of the year as we head into Thanksgiving and Christmas. Thank you for joining us.
God bless you, both of you. Much respect and love to both of you.
All right. Thanks a lot. You're listening to The Connection Place on the WIDU Radio Network. We'll be right back on the other side.
Now, if God has been good to you, He's made some ways and He's opened up some doors, I need you to clap your hands. Clap them like you love it. Come on, everybody, put your hands together. Come on, clap them real good. Here we go. Say He's been good. Just keep telling me.
All right, we've just listening to Good to Me by Stephen L. Williams. Didn't that sound good? Yes. It sound good to you, Tolly?
It did. I was about to say I admire people who can sing, because you did not pass that gene along to me. You're a pretty good singer yourself. Somewhere in that XY chromosome, however, you make babies, that didn't get passed on to me.
Well, Tolly, you can't be a great spokesperson and sing, too. You can't have it all.
Okay. So I had to get in, when God was passing that out, I had to get in one line or the other.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I'll buy that.
All right. We have with us today Stephen L. Williams, and some folks call him Bishop. Are you on the phone? Are you ready to talk with us?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey.
Well, now, you probably didn't hear it, but we were playing your music. Good to Me. Now, I told you I had to put some of your little quartet music in there, because you've got a CD out, and you've got a little bit of everything. You've got something on there for Easter, I think it is, and you've got something contemporary, so we had to adjust to our audience today.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, well, good. Now, is this your first or second CD that you've put out? Tell me a little bit about your CD.
It really is the first real CD. Sometimes we have those, what we call B projects, where we're trying to get something out and we didn't know what we were doing. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I figured out what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're from the Winston-Salem area. Whenever I go up there to Willie Mason and Friends, to their anniversary, or any singing in the area, you're someplace around. Now, I went up there a couple of years ago, and you did the offering. You turned the whole church into a big choir. I've never seen it done before. You had them rocking the same way, and I just love it when I'm around you, because you're just so much fun, but still you have that anointing that you use. Now,
thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. Quite welcome. So what's going on?
Having fun. The project is really doing good. Up in a lot of different areas, and just doing a lot of promoting stuff. A lot of singing. Just having a really good time right now, promoting the music and doing all the things that are necessary.
You're listening to The Connection Place with Bishop Stephen L. Williams.